the column headings and the rows as numbers. So I'm going to create a column here called January, and then I want to create others as they follow, February and March. So if I type February and then I type March here, so as you create your spreadsheet, you will see that some of your columns are actually not enough, and they are not having enough space. So you can enlarge the columns by going between your column heading BC and put your mouse like I did now, and then when it's pointing left and right, you hold the mouse and drag to the right a little bit to adjust the space. If I want to insert another column heading before January, you can see January was actually created here in A1. So I want to create another one called salesmen and put their names under, but it should be before January, and I don't have a space or a new column. So I will right click on A and click insert. A new column will come. So if I'm going to type salesman like I did now, you see that it also needs to be adjusted so that salesman can fit in column A. I will do the same and adjust, drag to the right, and then I have space. Then I'm going to type the names of all my salesmen. I can put 3 of them. So if I have this 3, and then now comes an issue where I have to insert the heading of all the entire spreadsheet. Remember, my spreadsheet will start here up until here. This is the range of my spreadsheet. So if I want to have one main column heading on top that says sales of October 2021, it should be like a long sentence. So what I have to do, I need to insert a new row on top of this spreadsheet. In case if you are instructed to insert a new row but you don't see it, you just go to row 1, right click and click insert. A new row will be inserted like I have now. So if I say sales of October 2021, you see now it becomes a sentence that overlaps to B. So you find that you are instructed to make sure that all this entire sentence is merged and centered. So when you create merge and center, you will highlight the whole sentence up until the last column where it should merge. Then you will go to your tools and make sure that you have clicked home, and then you'll find merge and center. When I click it, it will center the whole sentence across my spreadsheet on top in the row 1 that I inserted, like you see now. So I'm going to just make it bold and underline, and then I can even change the font size. So if I have numbers that I need to put here, you just type them and then as you are given. So I'm just going to include all the numbers that I need to include in the spreadsheet. And then if I have 56 and 80 here, so I need to make them all currency with 2 decimals. I right click, highlight all of them, right click, go to format cells, and then I can choose currency. You can see here when you choose currency, you will have to choose how many decimals you want. So I can choose it to be 2 decimals, and then I need it to be a South African rand. So under symbol here, I can scroll down until I see R English South Africa. So when I scroll down, I'm looking for letter R for rands. As I'm scrolling, you will see that it will even go according to alphabets until I find R. There it is. I have R isiZulu, R Sotho. Then I'm looking for R English South Africa. When I find it, click OK. All your numbers, because you type them as numbers when you start, Then later you right click and format cells. Let me show you again. Highlight the whole range of numbers, right click in your highlighting, format cells, and choose currency, and make sure that is going to be South African rands. Click OK after choosing 2 decimals. Okay, so this is what we did. Now I can even make the other headings to be bold if I want, and italics according to the instructions. You can even create borders around your spreadsheet by highlighting the whole range. Go to home under the group of font here. Click here on the borders and choose all borders. Or you can even change the border style to be a double line border where you're instructed to do it. Let me show you. If I can highlight here and right click inside, go to format cells, I can choose border, and then I can choose a double line and click where it should appear, top and bottom of where I have highlighted. You see I've highlighted here, so everything that I do under format cells under border, it will be applied to the highlighted range. If I click OK, you will see now I have a double border on top and bottom of my spreadsheet. So if I'm going to insert another calculation or do a calculation here that says maybe you are instructed to get a bonus. For instance, they say bonus is January times 10%. So what you do to calculate, let's insert that column called bonus and make it also to have all borders like we have here. Now I want to calculate bonus here, so I will say equals to, the first thing that you do is an equal sign to calculate. Okay. Then you click what you have to multiply with. So if I'm going to multiply January with 10%, I will click January. It will give me the cell where January is coming from, like you see now. Multiply is an asterisk that you find on your keyboard on the right numerical keypad. So I just type it and type 10%. It's a sign that you find on the numbers on the keyboard just next to the function keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 it's having a percentage sign, so you hold shift for this. So it will be 10. You hold shift and you press 5 on top there next to letter T on the keyboard. Then it will give you a percentage sign. If I press enter, then it will give me the answer of 10% of 250. Okay. So how do I get the other calculations going down? I just click inside the answer and go to the autofill button. This is the autofill button that you see here, a dot on the corner of my bottom right corner of my answer. If I put my mouse on it like I did now, it changes to be a bold plus sign. When I click with my mouse and hold and drag down, then it calculates automatically to give me the 10% of 450 and the 10% of 450 again. So if you are told to calculate the total at the bottom, let's insert a word called total. Total here. And then I'm going to determine the total of all the months. So total is calculated using the sum function, equals to sum open bracket. Remember, equal sign is the first thing that you put when you do any calculation. Equals to sum open bracket, highlight the whole range of the numbers, close the bracket, press enter. It will give you the total of all the numbers under January. So the same thing, if I want the total for February and March, I will go to the autofill button. We know what is an autofill button now. Click and hold when it changes to be a bold sign and plus sign, and then hold and drag to fill the other columns to determine their totals. So now I have a spreadsheet that is calculated for total, and I have a spreadsheet that is calculated for bonus. So if I'm going to show the formulas that I've included in this calculation, okay, before I do that, if maybe you are told to get the lowest number and the highest number, So if they want you to calculate the lowest sales of February here, you will have to use the function called equals to mean open bracket. The function to get the lowest number is equals to mean. So I will highlight the range inside the brackets under that column that I have to get the lowest number for. Close the bracket, press enter. It will determine the lowest number for me. If I have to get the highest sales of March here, I will say equals to max. Equals to max. Equals to max will help you to get the highest number. Then you open bracket, highlight the range that you are getting the highest number for. Close bracket, enter. It will determine the highest number amongst that range. So you find that now you are told to create a graph. We are going to start with a column graph to show all the sales of February for all salesmen. So what you need to know is that when you go to create a graph, you need to highlight all the information that should be included in the graph. So I'm going to highlight all the February sales, including the heading February. Then I hold Control on the keyboard because it's all for all the salesmen. I highlight salesmen. So you can see that salesmen and February, they are all highlighted at the same time. Then I go to Insert, and under Charts Group, you will see there are different types of graphs. So I'm going to insert a column graph. You see here, when I click here and click this small arrow, I get a 2D column, 3D column, 2D pie, and so on. So I'm going to take the first 2D column. When I click it, it gives me a graph to show me who's having the highest sales for that month, because I highlighted February including the heading and all the salesmen. It will create a graph for me. So if your graph here, it shows 1, 2 here and 3 here, it's wrong, because your graph needs to show who does it belong to, or the information should demonstrate the people who are owning these numbers, or the indication that these numbers are representing who, and so on. So I'm going to show you on the graph, how do you move your graph. If you want to move your graph anywhere on the spreadsheet, firstly make sure that your graph is selected like I did now. Then hold it here on the chart area, click and hold and drag it to where you want to put it. So if they say below the spreadsheet, it will be like this. If they say it must move to be on its own sheet, you click the graph, you go to format. Okay, here on the chart tools here, you have format and design. So you click design, and then you go to move chart. You will see this screen that says new sheet or object in sheet 1. So currently this graph is in sheet 1. So we are going to move it to be on its own sheet. I will click new sheet, and then I click OK. It will move to be on its own sheet. So where is the information that I used to create this graph? That information is there under sheet 1 at the bottom. If I click sheet 1 here, I still have my information. Then the graph is under chart 1 there. I click there, I see the chart. So if you are going to modify the chart, you work from this side. If you want to go back and do anything else on the spreadsheet, you click sheet 1, you still work on the spreadsheet. So if I'm going to work on the graph to do some other things, it means like I can insert X and Y axis titles, because this can be a chart title. Here, maybe you are going to type your name or your ID number here, or anything that you're instructed to put there. On the left hand side, this is where now you are going to put an axis title, and also here at the bottom. So those are axis titles. You find them only if your graph is selected. You will have to go and click format and click design. When you click design, you will see here under design there's a tool called chart element. Add chart element. When you click it, there's a drop down of all the things that you can add. So axis titles, if you click axis titles and go to horizontal and choose horizontal axis, there it is at the bottom where it has opened a slot for me to type what I need to type. So these are salesmen, for instance. Then on the y-axis, this is the vertical title. I can go and say add chart element, exit titles, then I can say vertical, and then there I can type what I need to insert. Then I can say sales. Okay, so now you see that if you get a graph that you are going to create, regardless of how the spreadsheet will come looking like, if the spreadsheet comes looking like this, you create it and you create a graph and move it to be there. Now you can edit the graph. So if the graph is alone, you can print it on its own, file, print, and then it will be alone without a spreadsheet. So if you want to go back, obviously you click this arrow and go to your sheet there and modify your sheet, and your sheet, your spreadsheet, and print it out alone. So if I'm going to print it out, it will come out looking like this. So let me go back again and show you how to display all the formulas that you would have used to create all the calculations. If you are going to show formulas, you click here where it says formulas, and then you click the icon that says show formula. If you don't see it saying show formula, it's represented by this icon here that looks like a mathematical figure. So if I click it, you will see that now it displays automatically all the formulas that I used to create these calculations on the spreadsheet. If you want to switch off the formulas, because this is not a different spreadsheet, it's the same spreadsheet, so I just go to formulas and click show formula again, then the formulas are switched off. So if you want to print formulas, you just go to formula, show formula, the formulas are there, then go to formula again, show formula to switch it off. So obviously if you are going to print the spreadsheet that shows formula, it should be looking with formulas like this. Then I will have to make sure that I'm going to print it and it's not going to cut, because you can see this line here that goes down. It shows that my spreadsheet has expanded and it's bigger now, so it will cut into 2 pages. So to avoid that, you just go to view, page break preview. So you will see that it's going to give you 2 pages, which is not actually going to be accurate. So what you can do, when I click home, you can go to page layout, orientation, and landscape. Then to remove this line, when you go to view like I did now, page break preview, then you go to this line in the middle of your spreadsheet. Don't go to the column headings. Here in the middle of the spreadsheet, when the arrow is pointing left and right like it's doing now, click the button, hold it, and drag it to be out of your spreadsheet like that. Then I go to view again and click normal. So this is my normal spreadsheet, just like that. So if I'm going to print it, then I can go to file while my formulas are still showing, go to print, and then my printout will come out showing all formulas like that. So I'm going to click back to look at my original spreadsheet, go to formulas again and show formula to switch off my formulas. So if maybe you are going to create the second graph, which is called a pie graph, you can even highlight the column headings that are going to include your graph. Let's say we are going to create salesmen, show a graph of salesmen for March. Then I'm going to highlight all of them, and then I'm going to go to insert, and then I will choose charts. There under charts, I will choose a pie, 2D pie. So you can see that it comes with all the information that I'm expecting, because I've highlighted salesmen and also March. So I can see it's a spreadsheet, it's a graph that shows March and all the salesmen. So on a pie graph, what you can do, you find that maybe they say to you that you must cut out a small piece, or remove, explode a piece of John, or explode a piece of Sarah. So what you can do, you click on the graph. When everything is highlighted, you click on the small piece again that needs to be exploded and drag it out. So that is how you can explode a small piece, like slicing out a a portion of your graph. You can also move this to be on its own sheet by clicking it, go into design, move chart, and go to new object in new sheet, then click OK. Then it will move it to its own sheet. So I have my spreadsheet here on sheet 1. I have the chart, first chart, which is a column chart on chart 1. I have a chart 2 which contains a pie. Okay. So I hope you understand how to create a spreadsheet, how to create a graph, and how to display formulas. Thank you for watching.